So, of course, we'll have a recap of that for you tomorrow morning. And this morning, all morning, stay with us. We're recapping last night's debate for Nashville Mayor here. It was over at Belmont. Really great job to everyone who put it on, and a lot of interesting things came out of that.
Yeah, so I need to go back. We were doing some other things at that time, so I need to go back and look at it on our website then.
Yeah, if you missed it too, it's right there at newschannel5.com, so just check it out. You can watch it in its entirety there.
All right, fantastic. From a weather standpoint right now, more or less a repeat of yesterday. A little higher rain chance. Now, I think most folks are going to go through today rain-free, but a 2 in 10 chance for a shower or a thunderstorm is what we have in our forecast for this afternoon. Your forecast now for today, 9 a.m. 77 at noon, 84, 3 o'clock. Look for a temp right around 88 degrees. From Hopkinsville right now, you're starting the morning at 71. So a lot of you between about 70 and 75. A couple of spots right around 68 to 69 degrees for us here as we start our morning across the Mid-South. So let's show you what's happening right now. The key thing, some clouds streaming across the area, but no rain with any of that. So a partly cloudy sky for us this morning, and that'll be the case throughout the day. Some of these clouds will thin a bit, but like yesterday, partly cloudy. At times maybe a mix of sun and clouds, but enough sunlight to warm us up to about 91 today. Right now from Exact Track, we'll run the clock at. There you see throughout the morning hours, all looking good for you this morning. As we head toward lunchtime, we'll be in the mid 80s to upper 80s and dry. Now get a little daytime heating in here, and there you see a couple of these showers try to pop. Now this is that air mass where the models try to show at least some coverage out there, but with this type of setup, it's really hard to say, okay, at 4 o'clock a shower will be here or a shower will be there, but just the general idea of a shower or a thunderstorm popping over the Mid-South this afternoon. Now we get past sunset and some of those storms still try to hang on in the early part of the night, but then gradually die down. And then as we head toward tomorrow, another day with a partly cloudy sky, but a couple of hit-and-miss showers and thunderstorms around the area. Temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s over the next several days here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. We'll talk rain for today, and again, not much, so you've got a couple of spots where you'll see maybe some light amounts where those showers or thunderstorms do pop. On our 7-day forecast, 91 today, 70 tonight, tomorrow 93, 92 going into Friday. Into the weekend now as we wrap up June, 92 Saturday and Sunday, and then into early next week for the beginning of July, low 90s on Monday and Tuesday. At night, temperatures between about 70 and 75 over the next several nights. More weather coming up in a moment, but right now it is 4:20 and time now for sports.
The Michigan Wolverines with a gutty performance Monday night as they took Game 1 of the College World Series final 7-4 over Vanderbilt. Game 2 last night in Omaha with the Vandy boys facing elimination with freshman Kumar Rocker on the mound looking to save the Doors season. Michigan got some runs early in Game 1, not the case last night in Game 2. Rocker getting the strikeout here to end the first. He fanned 11 batters on the night in just over 6 innings. Game scoreless until the 5th. Runners at the corners for Austin Martin. He's able to put the ball in play. RBI ground out gives Vandy a 1-0 lead. Wolverines had a disastrous 6th inning. Back-to-back pass balls with runners at third, allowing Vandy to score twice to make it 3-0. An inning later, Philip Clark hits a line drive laser just over the wall in right. Doors go on to win it 4-1. This series tied 1-1. Winner take all. Game 3 coming up later tonight. Steve Lehman has more from Omaha.
Kumar Rocker to the rescue again. Just like he did in the Super Regional facing elimination, the freshman fireballer helped Vanderbilt bounce back from a Game 1 loss, striking out 11 and giving up just a run on 3 hits Tuesday against Michigan while pitching into the 7th as Vandy wins 4-1 to even this College World Series finals at a game apiece and force a decisive Game 3 on Wednesday.
Everyone around us knows what we're capable of doing. Since we're so close, we know how we train and the standards that we set every day. And as long as we play the way that we should and play to our abilities, I think the outcomes will take care of themselves.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep. Definitely going to be excited, but we're all going to try to approach it the same way. I'm going to try to approach it the same way, and just another game at the end of the day.
Vanderbilt improves to 58-12 on the year. Win 59 would deliver the program's second national title and make it just the second school ever to win the SEC regular season, tournament, and national championships in the same year. In Omaha, Steve Lehman, News Channel 5 Sports.
And once again, tonight's Game 3 gets started just after 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports on News Channel 5 and NewsChannel5.com. I'm John Burton. Have a great Wednesday.
It's 3, 2, 1 blast off for a new dessert for astronauts, the first food ever baked in space. That's next.
Join the conversation. Connect with News Channel 5 on Facebook.
A famous batch of warm chocolate chip cookies is soaring to new heights, literally out of this world. DoubleTree Hilton will launch a batch of cookie dough inside a prototype space oven. This is part of a payload bound for the International Space Station. The launch is expected to happen sometime in the fall and will be the first food ever baked in orbit.
Love those DoubleTree cookies. You know, I don't know if they do the whole chain, but you know the Nashville ones are from Christie Cookies. So, All right, let's show you what is happening over the Mid-South for us out there. Today, look for a high of 91, tonight down to around 70. For tomorrow, 93, 92 going into Friday. Small rain chances in there on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a 2 in 10 chance. Into the weekend, I don't think any weekend day is a washout, but scattered showers and storms are out there for us this weekend. 92 Saturday, 92 Sunday, low 90s going into July on Monday and on Tuesday. But you know what? For the end of June and the beginning of July, just a typical summertime week. At night, temperatures between about 70 and 75. Right now, let's head back over to Adam.
A top automaker is moving to the Mid-State and bringing hundreds of jobs with it. When you are going to see the business in your neck of the woods, that's coming up next.
Nashville's most trusted news when you want it. News Channel 5, now on Roku.
A Catholic church on Bell Road in Antioch, one of 3 overnight that a suspected arsonist hit. Here, he also stole 2 TVs. We have brand new surveillance images, and they're very clear. Maybe you know him. Those coming up.
The search is on this morning for 2 people who tried to rob a mother and then punched her special needs son. Detectives are asking for your help this morning to track them down. And this dog is on the move and ready to find his forever home. Look at him there. Meet the rescue pup whose story is straight out of the movies.
You're watching News Channel 5 this morning with Amy Watson, Adam Hammond, Storm 5 senior meteorologist Lelan Statom, and 5 Live traffic with Rebecca Sliker.
Good morning to you. It's 4:30 this Wednesday, June 26th, and we're going to get right over to Leland for a look at our weather this morning. Somebody's going to want to walk that dog pretty soon. I cannot wait for that dog story, Leland. That's going to have a happy ending this morning.
Yeah. Hey, well, if you need to get out and walk the dog this morning, things are feeling fine for us out there. Let's show you what is happening right now from Hopkinsville. You're starting the morning at 70 degrees. We'll give you a look at what's happening on radar. Nothing going on for you now, so let's add the numbers to this. Hoptown 72, 68 Bowling Green, Glasgow 65, 63 out of Columbia. For today, we'll make it up to about 91. A 2 in 10 chance for a shower or a thunderstorm later today. Overnight tonight down to 70 under a partly cloudy sky. Few showers may hold on early tonight in a couple of the western areas, and then tomorrow 93. More weather coming up for you in just a few minutes. For right now, 4:31. Let's head back over to Adam.
3 churches were vandalized overnight in South Nashville and Antioch, and police believe someone set fires inside those churches, and now they're investigating a possible connection. News Channel 5's Hannah McDonald's live this morning at St. Ignatius Catholic Church in Antioch. And Hannah, this church had surveillance cameras. Did they catch anything on those cameras?
Well, we know that they have 2 outside. There's one right over my left shoulder, another one closer to one of the main doors here. These surveillance cameras did play a role in this burglary this morning. Police have a pretty clear shot now of a man walking down a hallway inside during the time of the break-ins. He's wearing sunglasses to cover his eyes, but it's a good picture overall. The suspect, you can see, carrying some sort of weighted down pillowcase, which he may have used to break through some doors. This map is going to show you where the churches are in relation to one another. The first church burglary was at 10:30 at Crevewood Baptist Church. The second around 1 at Priest Lake, Community Baptist Church. And the third soon after, only about 40 minutes later. That was here at St. Ignatius Catholic Church. We know fires were set in small containers at each of these churches. A cabinet with paper goods at one, trash cans and curtains damage at another, and a small fire set here at this Catholic church, as the suspect also got away with 2 flat screens. Once again, here looking live, there are 2 cameras outside here. If you know anything about what happened overnight, or you think you recognize the man who police believe was responsible for them, once again, here's a look at his face and what he was wearing overnight. You are encouraged to call the arsonist hotline for the area. That number is 1-800-762-3017. That number is also going to be posted on our web story in case you need to refer to it. And this picture jogs any recollection about who this could be. Live in Antioch, I'm Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.
There are new clues this morning surrounding a hit-and-run crash that killed an elderly woman crossing the street. Police say they're looking for a 1985 to 1994 Chevy Astro or GMC Safari minivan that is dark in color and has heavy front-end damage. They say the driver is responsible for killing Jeanne Marie Rossi earlier this month while she was trying to cross the street there at a crosswalk at Murfreesboro Pike at Wilhagen Road. Now, investigators have received several Crime Stoppers tips this morning, but they say they do need more information before they can make an arrest in this case. And get a good look at these 2 men. They're accused of trying to rob a mom and her adult son who has special needs. This happened earlier this month on 3rd Avenue South in Nashville, and we're told one of the suspects tried to take the woman's phone while the other man punched her son. If you know who these guys are, please give police a call. Police say he watched 2 people shop inside a store, planning to rob them when they got outside. And this morning, the accused robber is in jail. Metro Police arrested this 17-year-old Theodoros Solomon Trafera at his home on Swiss Avenue. The customers, they split up outside the store there, and police say the man approached one guy demanding money and his debit card. The other friend ran up to help. He was shot in the process, but he did survive that shooting. And criminals taking a scam up a notch. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office says scammers are cloning the Sheriff's Office phone number. They're trying to get money from people. Scammers pose as law enforcement officers, and they say they have a loved one in jail, hoping to get you to give them money and your personal information. Hoping people panic and do that. The Sheriff's Office will not request any kind of payment like that over the phone or call you to tell you that someone is in jail, so be aware of that. Progress is being made on a new fire station in Bellevue. The Nashville Fire Department shared these photos on their Facebook page showing the construction, and officials say they hope to have the new station 37 up and running by early 2020. When an abused dog arrived at a local humane association, vets had no choice but to amputate his hind legs. You can see this dog behind me right here. But thanks to volunteers and a new set of wheels, there's no stopping him now. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs caught up with Lieutenant Dan and shows us how he is so special. I don't think Lieutenant Dan is on the Supreme Court just yet. Wrong video, but we'll get that package for you soon. Mitsubishi Motors is pulling up stakes in California. They're moving to Middle Tennessee. Right now, the company's North American headquarters is in California, but by the end of this year, they're going to call Franklin home. And when you check out the map right here, it looks like it's a straight shot to the east. The plan is to move in a temporary office space. That's going to happen as soon as August.
We actually traveled to Asia last week and met with executives of Mitsubishi, and they had not made a decision, but we encouraged them about our desire for them to locate here, the environment for business that we have. So we were excited and grateful that they made that decision yesterday and made the announcement today. Another corporate headquarters, particularly important that it's in the automotive industry. We're becoming a real hub for automotive corporations here, and that's good for Tennessee because those are really good jobs.
Really exciting times for our state, and we're told there are nearly 200 people working in the automakers headquarters. We don't know if they're all going to relocate to Franklin, but all corporate departments will, including sales, marketing, IT, human resources, communications, as well as parts and service. Mitsubishi is not the only company headed to the area. Pilot.com announced plans yesterday to move its account management operations to the Wedgwood, Houston areas in Davidson County, bringing 450 jobs to the area. For the company's founder, it's also very personal.
I grew up here and my family lives here. I'm a proud graduate of Hillsborough Middle School and Franklin High School. And I think back often to experiences like, I kid you not, sitting at a piano with the legendary Michael McDonald at a music program at Hillsborough.
How cool is that? Pilot.com is a bookkeeping service for tech startups, and McKellar says it's the company's close-knit relationship that really makes them stand out for others in the industry. Heads up to Franklin drivers this morning. 2nd Avenue North at Bridge Street will close today from 9 a.m. until 4 this afternoon. Crews are going to be working on a gas and sewer line there. And police say you should expect major delays. 3rd Avenue North will also be closed for construction between Bridge Street and Main Street. That's happening from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. All right, let's get a check on our forecast this Wednesday morning with Lelan.
All right, right now in Nashville, we are under a partly cloudy sky, maybe a few extra clouds in a couple of spots there, but it's a dry morning. No issues from a weather standpoint for your ride into work. Right now in Hopkinsville, 70 degrees for you there this morning. Here in Nashville right now, we have a current temp of 71, a wind on the light side here at about 3 miles per hour. Dew point number, it's up there, but not the oppressive humidity levels at the hour. Sunrise coming in at 5:31 and will set this evening at 8:08. Here is what's happening now. You look at the satellite photograph, satellite and radar together, and it is rain-free. We do have some clouds where you see the gray. We've got a few clouds in those areas for you now, and we're 68 Lafayette, 73 Savannah, 73 out of Camden. As we go through the day, we're 79 degrees at the mid-morning hour, 91 later today. More on that coming up for you in a few minutes, but right now, 4:39, let's head back over to the news desk.
It's a first-of-its-kind ban in the U.S. Which city is going as far as banning e-cigarettes? And it's a house that will take your breath away, and it could be yours. Yeah, that house could be yours. I want to come over to visit. The whopping price tag on this iconic film-inspired home. That's next. A border aid bill passes through the House last night, but it wasn't easy. Among the hurdles, Democratic infighting. And despite the nod, the bill's fate is far from certain.
A $4.5 billion decision from the House of Representatives.
Both the yeas are 230, the nays are 195. The bill is passed without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The bill passed Tuesday night earmarks financial aid for the crisis at the southern border.
This bill does not fund the administration's failed mass detention policy. Instead, it funds effective, humane alternatives to detention that have a proven record of success.
Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar were among the 4 Democrats who voted against the bill, saying they don't want to fund agencies that carry out President Trump's policies. The White House says it strongly opposes the bill and is threatening a veto.
Legislation that has no chance of becoming law. You may be proud of your action, but the question will be, will history be kind to you?
Meanwhile, the Senate advanced a bipartisan bill last week that sets aside nearly $4.6 billion for the border crisis.
My hope would be that Democrats will work with us to get this across the finish line, get it across the Senate floor this week.
If the Senate and House can reach an agreement, there's still no guarantee President Trump will sign off on it. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
On Tuesday, an official with the Customs and Border Protection says more than 100 children were moved to a border station in Clint, Texas, which independent monitors, they say, have unresponsible conditions there. And the First Lady's spokeswoman will be the next White House press secretary and communications director. Melania Trump made that announcement on Tuesday. Stephanie Grisham has been the communications director for the First Lady for 2 years. Grisham will be assuming the roles of former employees Bill Shine and also Sarah Sanders. San Francisco will become the first major U.S. city to ban the sale of e-cigarettes. City supervisors approved the ordinance Tuesday. Supporters of that measure say it will help curb underage vaping. Opponents say it'll make it harder for adults to get cigarette alternatives. Once it's got this mayor's signature there in the city, the measure will take about 6 months to be fully implemented. E-cig maker Juul, which is headquartered in San Francisco, is behind a ballot initiative that some worry could roll back the city's ordinance if voters approve it in the upcoming elections. Employees of the online retailer Wayfair are expected to walk out this afternoon. They're upset the company is selling beds to operators of detention centers that hold migrant children. Wayfair says they'll sell to any customer who is acting, quote, within the laws of the country within which we operate. Employees want the profits from these purchases donated to a refugee and immigrant center. It's a mansion that would take anyone's breath away, and it could be yours. This 10,000 square foot Georgia mansion was the inspiration for the home in Gone with the Wind. It was built back in 1836 and became the inspiration for the home in the film about 100 years later. A couple saved the home after finding it boarded up. Windows were boarded up, had water damage inside, and more than 11 bedrooms in there, 11 and a half bath. It's going to go up for auction next month. You're going to save your money, though. Get ready for this. The starting bid is $1 million. Beautiful. All right, happening today, a Hillsborough Village restaurant forced to shut down for days after a building collapse is expected to reopen coming up in just a few hours. News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski live outside Fido this morning. And Blake, the owner, blamed nearby development for the problem.
Well, Adam, just behind me here, it's kind of a stark contrast between the building that's actually going to be reopening, or the business rather, and the impeccable pig that sits right next door. You can actually still see clothing hanging on the racks beneath the rubble of the collapsed building. But the good news for that neighboring business, Fido, is that they are planning to open their doors again today. Now, the building collapsed at the corner of 21st Street and Belcourt Avenue, where construction was ongoing on the parking lot next door. That happened about 2 weeks ago. It once housed the popular restaurant Jackson's Bar and Bistro. The Nashville Fire Department says the construction likely led to the collapse. The empty building that was once sitting right there is expected to become the restaurant Ruby Sunshine. Now, for a neighborhood that's seen a lot of change in recent years, it's frustrating for longtime business owners like Fido's owner, Bob Bernstein. He told News Channel 5 that it was symbolic that an out-of-town chain restaurant will not only be a competitor, but it's also causing damage before they're even here. Now, we did reach out to Ruby Sunshine a few weeks ago when this happened, and they said that although they are leasing the building and they do plan to open here in the next year, they don't actually own it, and therefore they're not overseeing the construction that is happening at this time. And of course, they're saddened by what has happened here. Live in Hillsborough Village, Blake Rosnowski, News Channel 5.
Now to that story about an abused dog whose story of recovery shows us how life can imitate art. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs introduces us to Lieutenant Dan.
The Nashville Humane Association has over 100 dogs, but there's one here who is extra special. Meet Lieutenant Dan.
Ready? Go get it.
There is nothing slowing down this hound, not even the fact that he is missing his hind legs. Lieutenant Dan, named after the fictional character from Forrest Gump, is a sweet dog, but he once had to deal with a violent past. It's suspected that Dan was abused when he was found with barbed wire around his back legs. An animal shelter was able to rescue Lieutenant Dan, but staff had to call the Nashville Humane Association when they discovered the severity of the injuries to his legs.
Come on, you ready?
Dan had to undergo several surgeries since he arrived in October of 2018, which were mostly performed for free. He now gets around in a custom-made wheelchair and will soon have prosthetics. But this good boy is now a healthy pup looking for a forever home. that can accommodate his special needs.
So it's really going to take a special family that's going to be patient, preferably somebody that doesn't have any stairs, because Lieutenant Dan does have a wheelchair. He can zip around, he's got a lot of puppy energy, so a very active family would be good for him.
If you want to adopt Lieutenant Dan, just contact the Humane Association. We have the contact information on our website at newschannel5.com. Reporting in Nashville, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
He seems even faster with that thing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't he?
Got the tail wagging on the back. Love that. How's the dog walking forecast going to be for people?
You know what? Not bad. Not bad right now. A little heat this afternoon, so just be careful on the sidewalks with the hot pavement and stuff.
Okay, I gotta finally cut the grass. I've been putting it off because all the rain and everything. Today's the day, gotta do it.
Yeah, that's my mission between now and Friday, to get the yard cut, and then we've got more rain chances for the next few days. Nothing widespread, but some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms are out there. Let's show you that dog walking forecast, and this is our dog Ritas. Ritas is out of Hartsville. That's Trousdale County, and courtesy of Teresa Turner. Look at the tie there. Gotta love that tie. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s for us now. Mid 80s at lunchtime today, and then overall we'll make it to right around the 90-degree mark for a high today. So read us out of Hartsville, and your pet mom there, Teresa Turner. We appreciate the help. Let's show you what's happening right now from the Lawrenceburg area. 72 degrees there for us this morning. We are under a partly cloudy sky. Few mid and high level clouds floating through, but that's about it. Here's some of those clouds right now from Bowling Green to Clarksville to Nashville now, down to Murfreesboro, and we see those along the southern counties here from Waynesboro, Savannah, Pulaski, and back over toward Fayetteville and Winchester for us this morning. So we'll run the clock on exact track. Not much going on over the area. What clouds are out there? Thinning a little bit, but overall a partly cloudy sky. Now let's head into the afternoon. You'll start to see a little green pop up. Some hit or miss showers and thunderstorms will fire up. Now, this time of the year when it does rain, it shouldn't last long, but there might be some brief heavy downpours with a couple of these. And Exact Track paints a little bit more green back out to our west. What's out there, though, will die down tonight, and then for tomorrow, similar story. Partly cloudy skies with a couple of hit and miss showers and thunderstorms firing up. Chances for that rain go a little higher in the Saturday, 30-40% Saturday and Sunday. So for today, 91 on our 7-day. Tomorrow we are at 93. Going into Friday, 92. Into the weekend now, low 90s for Saturday and Sunday, 91 on Monday, 92 on Tuesday. At night, temperatures between 70 and 75 for the next 6 to 7 nights. More weather on the way for you in a moment, including a look at the 10-day trend. But right now, let's head back over to Adam.
Get ready for a landslide of an announcement. Which favorite band is on the verge of a comeback next? The Dixie Chicks are making a comeback. This video was released on Nellie Mae's Instagram. Take a look at it here. She's the lead singer. All three members said there's a new album coming in the video, with the producer saying someday. The hashtag featured, though, is DCX 2019, so it could come out later this year, but no release date has been put out just yet. Dunder Muffin is closing its doors once again. Netflix has now announced the popular show The Office is leaving the streaming service in 2021. But the good news is NBC has confirmed that it secured the exclusive domestic streaming rights for 9 seasons of the series, and it's going to be available on their new streaming service for 5 years. This will be a big jump of the sitcom, considering Netflix has had that show and the rights to it since 2007.
Right now in Nashville, we are under a partly cloudy sky to begin our morning. This is our camera now from the north side of town, Tower Sky Cam for us this morning out in the Whites Creek area, looking back over the city of Nashville. Rain chances are on the low side here for the next several days. 2 in 10 chance for a shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon, and for Thursday and Friday as well. So with that setup, we'll give you the green light for yard work. Just keep in mind, though, you may get a stray shower in your backyard this afternoon. Here's what's up for today. 91 today, 93 tomorrow, 92 going into Friday. The rest of our 7-day showing 92 for Saturday, Sunday, low 90s on Monday and on Tuesday. Here's a look at your 10-day trend, and this will take us through the 4th of July. And as we head toward the 4th, highs in the upper 80s to right around the 90-degree mark for next Thursday and for next Friday as well. Normal high right now, 88 degrees. Time now, 4:56. Let's head back over to Adam.
Mayoral candidates battle it out on the debate floor last night, but one thing they all agreed on, they have different versions of it though, different visions and plans for our city. We're going to take a look at some of their views. That's coming up next for you. And attention to all the parents out there. A new video game could teach your teen better driving skills. We're going to show you how to get that next at 5.
Coming up in this hour of News Channel 5 this morning, police say this church and 2 others had fires intentionally set inside them overnight. And we have a photo you will want to see because it clearly shows who's responsible. Police need help tracking him down, though. You'll see that coming up.
The city of Murfreesboro just passed a property tax, a new one, and now the county's considering one too, when a final decision on a hike will be made. And your phone rings, and it's a robocall. This happens to you all the time, I'm sure. Still ahead, how federal lawmakers are working to stop those calls from scamming folks all across the country.
Right now, it's 5 a.m. on a Wednesday, hump day. Good morning, everybody. We are starting with a few clouds over the area. Those clouds should give nice color at sunrise for you this morning. Right now, our camera from Gallatin showing a few clouds there at the beginning of the day. 68 degrees overlooking the Sumner County Courthouse for us this morning. Here's how those clouds look from our satellite photograph for you this morning. And we've got a few clouds, but rain-free conditions. In Nashville now 70, Dixon 70, 68, Lafayette, mid-60s out of Glasgow. So for today, warming up to a high of about 91, a 2 in 10 chance for a shower or a thunderstorm a little bit later today. More on that coming up for you in a few minutes, but right now, 5:01, let's head back over to Adam.
Police are searching for an arsonist right now after someone lit fires in 3 churches overnight. The first one happened at Crevewood Baptist Church in South Nashville. The next was Priest Lake Community Baptist Church in Antioch, and the third, St. Ignatius Catholic Church on Bell Road. News Channel 5's Hannah McDonald is at the church on Bell Road this morning. And Hannah, police released a picture to you clearly showing who they're looking for. What's going on with this?
Yeah, and since we're dealing with 3 churches here vandalized, it just doesn't make sense that this is a coincidence. They knew that as soon as they got that 3rd call, and now they have this great picture to go off of, but they just don't know who he is yet. Take a look at this picture. The man is wearing sunglasses, but overall, it really shows his height, his size, his outfit, so they hope that it can help them track him down. The first church that was broken into, vandalized, and then a fire was set inside of it was around 10:30 last night. That was Crevewood Baptist Church. They believe the man you saw in the photo went into a classroom and set a cabinet on fire. Law enforcement went room to room as soon as they got the call. They looked for anyone hiding, but they didn't find someone. This church is roughly 10 miles from the next church that a fire was started in. That was around 1. Officers and firefighters went to Priest Lake Community Baptist Church in Antioch for the reported fire there. And in that case, police said someone threw a large rock through a back door. They then dragged a trash can to the gym and lit the contents as well as some curtains on fire. And thirdly, St. Ignatius Catholic Church here on Bell Road where I am. That was the 3rd of the night. Like the others, a small fire was set inside, this time in a hallway. But the burglar took 2 TVs this time, among some other stuff. The church has cameras, which we believe is where this photo you already saw came from. And that is how they were able to get a look at this guy. Right now, they are urging anyone with information to call the arson hotline. That number is 1-800-762-3017. There's a camera right behind me outside this church. They also got a pretty grainy photo of a car, but they're going off that one picture, which we also have posted on our website if you need to take a second look at it. 3 fires in Antioch and South Nashville overnight, all at churches. Live at Antioch, I'm Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.
From spending to schools to scooters and even what to do for fun in Nashville, the top 4 candidates for Nashville mayor went head-to-head last night in their first televised debate right here on News Channel 5. We asked the candidates a number of questions about their stances on polarizing issues like property taxes to fund schools and employee raises. a move that was declined by Metro Council just last week.
We do not have a revenue problem in the city. We have a spending problem because we have leaders who can't say no. They make irresponsible decisions.
Revenues are up $350 million in the last 4 years. That is a lot, right? We do need to go get management savings, and there are other sources of revenue than just the property tax. The property tax is the easiest source of revenue to government.
Mayor Briley chimed in on that issue despite supporting a budget that didn't include those increases.
So I oppose the tax increase that the council considered on Tuesday. That's because, to a great extent, it hurt Metro employees. It was the wrong way to go about addressing compensation.
John Ray Clemens, who you see right here, did support a property tax increase to fully fund schools. He says his stand shows he can make difficult calls.
Real leadership is needed in Nashville. A willingness to stand up and fight for what is right rather than what's politically convenient.
Early voting begins on July 12th. You need to be registered by Tuesday, though, if you want to take part. We have that debate posted right now in full at newschannel5.com if you would like to watch it. And in the meantime, Metro School Board members don't approve a budget for next school year proposed by Interim Director of Schools Adrian Battle. According to the Tennessean, the board voted unanimously to return that budget to Battle and hopes her administration can find $8 million in cuts somewhere to fund raises for employees. If a new one isn't approved by July 1st, the school districts will continue to operate under last year's fiscal budget. The Grammy-winning producer accused of violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend is due in court today. Bayho Bobby Shin faces charges for beating and holding this woman hostage for almost a week in January and allegedly making her eat glass. He's due before a judge this morning for a status hearing, and his trial is scheduled to begin in January of 2020. A 19-year-old arrested for sexual exploitation of minors, pictured on your screen right here. Metro Police say Caleb Pickens admitted to using Dropbox accounts to trade sexual pictures and videos of children. Police say the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children linked the online accounts to Pickens at his North Nashville home. Search warrants to the Dropbox revealed those accounts contained hundreds of pornographic videos and photos. The person behind a deadly shooting in North Nashville is still out there right now. Metro Police say 21-year-old William Summers Jr. was shot in the Cumberland Gardens neighborhood. Officers say he was arguing with someone before that shooting. No description of that gunman has been released. New information this morning on a property tax proposal that could soon go into effect for people who live in Rutherford County. Today, the County Commission will consider adopting a 9.5% county property tax hike. The increase would pay for a raise for government workers and fund school projects, and that meeting is set to happen at 9 a.m. at the courthouse in downtown Murfreesboro. The Bedford County Board of Education has spoken, and Don Embry will remain the district's leader for another 4 years. That's according to the Shelbyville Times-Gazette. His pay, which sits just under $114,000 a year, was included in the district's new $69 million budget, which was also approved last night. Well, it's hard to believe it, but back to school time is just a month away. School supply lists for students in Robertson County have already been released. It's also time to start thinking about Tennessee's annual tax-free shopping holiday. This year, that's going to run from 12:01 a.m. on Friday through that's July 26th, through 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, July 28th. Clothes, school supplies, and computers all qualify to be tax-free. New this morning, there are 2 million new drivers joining us in traffic every single year, and one of the top reasons for teen crashes is inexperience. So one dad is set to change that. News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski is live this morning to show us how he's using video games to try to do that.
So Adam, think about it. You learn about driving by going through the manual. You learn about it by going in parking lots with your parents and learning the safest ways to drive. But what about those more dangerous situations? Well, kids have to learn those on the fly, but one dad is hoping to maybe make that a little bit easier, and that's by speaking their language, gaming.
It's a rite of passage.
I tend to drive a lot.
And also one of the most dangerous things your kids will learn to do.
To school, to work.
Crashing, getting T-boned by a red light runner, hydroplaning during a downpour. A parent's greatest fears. And yet, there's only so much you can prepare them for.
If it's really foggy and rainy and you're teaching your 15-year-old to drive, you're not going to take them out that day.
The wheels really started turning for Bob Davis when he narrowly avoided a crash himself.
At that moment, I was immediately going to my 14-year-old son thinking, if he did this wrong, he could have just died.
Enter these simulators for driver's ed courses, now being used by some school districts across the U.S. It exposes teens to all sorts of scenarios.
It will throw an animal in front of you in the road sometimes.
And familiarizes them with the rules of the road.
Which lane am I supposed to be in? Which lane am I supposed to turn into and taking a left or taking a right? Yes, I do think it helps.
Then Davis wanted to drive the idea further, knowing not every kid has access to driver's ed, but what many do have, gaming consoles.
Kids now will absorb gaming experiences as if they're real.
Now, any kid with an Xbox and regular controller can download Driving Essentials XE.
You can lose all of your points at the top of the screen for excessive speeding.
Instead of rewarding risk, these games give points to encourage good habits. Checking mirrors, ignoring distractions.
Turn the wheel back to the left.
Just like the full simulators, the theory, practice makes perfect.
Little things that maybe first drivers don't always think about that could most likely save them and the passengers in their car.
And hopefully, safer drivers.
Now, the game is $39 through Microsoft for an Xbox, and they're working on adapting for PlayStation 4. Now, adding to the realism, if you get in a distracted driving crash or you hit somebody, the game takes you to court and puts you in front of a real judge. Live in Hillsborough Village, Blake Rosnowski, News Channel 5.
Wow, that is real life, Blake. Thank you. So there are some new clues surrounding a hit-and-run crash that killed an elderly woman crossing the street. We brought you this story as breaking news when it happened back on the morning of June 17th. Police say they're looking for a 1985 to 94 Chevy Astro or maybe a GMC Safari minivan that is a dark color and has heavy front end damage. They say the driver is responsible for killing Jean Rossi while she was in the crosswalk at Murfreesboro Pike and Wilhagen Road. Investigators have received several Crime Stoppers tips, but say they need more information in this case. And the city of Spring Hill is moving forward with a plan to widen 2 roads that will take on more traffic as I-65 is getting underway. But to make that happen, city leaders are considering adding new land. The Columbia Daily Herald reports around 75 acres near Buckner Lane and Buckner Road are under consideration to be annexed right now. A number of votes by city leaders and the current property owners will have to be approved before the plan can move ahead. It is 5:11 right now, and the roads, thankfully, are nice and quiet for us. No major weather issues to be aware of, and we don't have any huge slowdowns or crashes. This is a look right now at the North Loop I-65 here at Rosa Parks, where you can see you're not going to have any issue going along I-65 north or southbound, getting off here at Rosa Metro Center exit, looking really, really wide open for you. Good morning, Antioch. This is I-24 near Bell Road. Not going to have an issue getting in those westbound lanes. I will give you a heads up, though, starting tonight at 8 p.m. Expect road work in the area. They're actually going to be doing some IT maintenance on the cameras in the area. So expect a lane closure in both directions along the South Loop, I-40 east and westbound, 8 p.m. tonight through 5 a.m. tomorrow. Could slow you down if you have some evening plans in the downtown area. One crash near the downtown library, 7th and Church. The traffic report brought to you by Electronic Express. Now let's head over to Leland.
All right, thank you much. Right now in Nashville, we've got a fair sky here at daybreak. A few clouds out there giving a little bit of color as we get ready for sunrise. Sunrise coming in at 5:31 this morning. Right now in Clarksville, you are starting the morning at 70. Satellite photograph does show a few of those clouds. You see the gray? That's some of those high clouds that are out there. They'll thin a little bit today, very similar to yesterday. Clouds out there thinning out for a partly cloudy sky this afternoon. We hit 90 yesterday. I expect most of you to be right around the 90-degree mark for highs later today. Right now, upper 60s to low 70s over the area. The cool spot, Crossville, at 62. Here in Nashville today, 91, Lafayette 89, Fayetteville 89, right around 90 out of Camden and Dixon. More on that coming up in a few minutes, but right now the time is 5:13.
It's a bill that will help migrants detained at the southern border. Next, details on a new border funding plan that passed the House last night. We have breaking news out of Afghanistan this morning. The military just announced 2 American service members were killed this morning. Their names and the circumstances of their deaths have not been released yet. Since 2001, more than 2,000 U.S. military personnel have died in Afghanistan. The House passes a $4 billion emergency border aid package to care for thousands of migrant families right now detained at the southern border, the crossing there. And the vote set up a showdown for the Republican-led Senate, which may try to force Democrats to send the president a different measure in the next few days. The bill contains more than $1 billion to shelter and feed migrants detained by Border Patrol. Another $3 billion will go for the care of unaccompanied migrant children who are in the care of the Department of Health and Human Services right now. Robert Mueller has agreed to testify before the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees. Both panels issued subpoenas to him Tuesday. He will testify about the report he issued in April. The committees have been negotiating with Mueller for more than 2 months about his testimony, which will now happen on July 17th. Well, they're a pretty annoying part of life, but now federal authorities are going after some of the companies behind the ever-dreaded robocall. According to call blocking company UMail, Americans have lost $10.5 billion to phone scams in just 1 year. Tuesday, the FTC announced a new crackdown on 3 robocall companies, hitting them with millions in fines. The government recently gave phone companies more power to stop those calls, but it's not clear when that will go into effect.
License, registration, proof of insurance, please.
This little Florida girl got pulled over by a policeman. Turns out it was her own dad. Talon was driving down the road in her toy car when her dad stopped her. She started to laugh, and her dad responded with, quote, "I do not think this is a laughing matter." So cute.
Wonder what law she was breaking at the time.
I know. She's probably texting and driving. Knowing kids these days.
Yeah, gaming and driving.
Yeah, it looked kind of rainy for her little commute to wherever she was going. How's it going to be for us this morning, Lelan?
You know what? No worries with rain this morning. Now, I think most of us will be rain-free today, but next couple of days, some hit-and-miss afternoon showers. Kind of a typical summer pattern for the next few days.
Okay.
Well, so we'll take that, though, after that spring-like pattern of last week. Right now, though, not much going on over the Mid-South. This is the view from our Skycam. This is Tower Skycam on the north side of town for us this morning, and all is in good shape for us this morning. This is the scene right now at daybreak. This was the scene last evening at sunset, and that's courtesy of Janet Rampy there out of the Winchester area. So as you need to get out and walk the dog this morning, we're getting a little help this morning from, look at that, Sasha Ari. Love how Sasha is dressed this morning. Sasha belongs to Doris Odom, and it's showing temperatures for us this morning that are now in the upper 60s to right around the 70-degree mark, and then we'll warm to around 89 to 90 going into the afternoon. Here in Nashville, we'll push to right around the 91-degree mark. But to Sasha Ari and Doris Odom, we appreciate the help to start our day. Nice little smile there for us this morning. Here's the view out of Clarksville. A few clouds your way at daybreak and getting ready for sunrise right now. 70 degrees for you there this morning. There are a few of those clouds that are streaming across the Mid-South. Now, I think we'll get a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms later today. Nothing widespread. Here's the scene at midday. Then as we get some daytime heating, you see a little green pop up. So yeah, a few of those hit and miss showers that are out there. Now with this setup though, note that where it does rain, you might have a little bit of a downpour, locally heavy downpour in a couple of those spots. Those will gradually die down past sunset. Tomorrow, similar story, partly cloudy with a couple of hit-and-miss showers and storms. 20% rain chances here for the next few days, a little higher going into the weekend, but from rainfall estimates there, nothing too widespread over the Mid-South through the evening hours. Your forecast for today with our 7-day, we'll make it to a high this afternoon of 91, tomorrow 93, 92 on Friday. Rain chances a little higher at 30 to 40% for the weekend, but still low 90s on Saturday and Sunday. Same story next week, 91 on Monday, 92 on Tuesday. More weather coming up for you in a few minutes, but right now 5:20. Rebecca is here now with a check of your 5 Live traffic.
And we have a live look right now, Lelan, in West Nashville. This is I-40 near 46th Avenue, where everyone's having a really good start to the morning on the roads. No major inbound, eastbound slowdowns. If you're heading out westbound to the west side of the viewing area, you're doing well this morning. Now, I-40 on the other side of downtown. This is near Donaldson Pike, so really close to that airport exit for you. We're also wide open here. Nothing really slowing you down along your way in. I will say, if you are heading to the airport, it's looking pretty good at BNA. Both security lines under 5 minutes right now. We only have one delayed departure heading to Newark. No canceled flights. Now, our one downtown crash I was telling you about near the downtown library. This is going to be Church and 7th. Should be in the clearing stages. I expect that to be out of the way within the next 10 minutes. Now let's head over to Adam.
It's only June, but the Preds will be back on the ice soon to get ready for next season, which starts in just a few months. We have their news schedule for you coming up next. We told you yesterday that the Vandy boys would have to regain lost ground to get back into the College World Series final. Well, they did that on Tuesday. The Doors played Game 2 in the series last night against the Michigan Wolverines, and they faced some extra pressure since the series is the best of 3, and they lost 7-4 Monday night. But Tuesday, they turned on the heat, defeating the Wolverines 4-1. Game 3 will now decide it all. They've set the stage for a very exciting matchup tonight. That game is going to be tonight at 6. Turning now from the diamond to the ice, the Preds' 2019-2020 schedule is now out. The home opener set for October 3rd. That's going to be against the Wild. PK Subban will return December 7th when the Preds host the Devils, and they'll play the Winter Classic New Year's Day at the Cotton Bowl against Dallas. The full schedule's up for you right now at newschannel5.com.
Got a couple of nice pictures to share with you of sunset last evening. Here's one from the borough. This just in a moment ago from Lisa Martin out of Murfreesboro. Here's one from Old Hickory. Keith Pruitt sharing this one with me. And then here is one from, and actually I didn't get that other one saved. That's rain from a couple of days ago. We'll get the other one from West Tennessee in just a moment. But let's show you what is happening right now. The pollen report is on the low side for us out there with tree pollen and grass pollen around the Mid-South for us this morning. So for today, look for a high of 91 overnight tonight, down to around 70, 93 for tomorrow, 92 on Friday. And then as we go into the weekend, some small rain chances on Saturday and on Sunday. Right now the time is 5:26. Let's check in with Rebecca.
Well, Lelan, after the National Weather Service confirmed 8 tornadoes touching down during those storms on Friday, it's really nice to wake up to a really quiet road weather index like this. Almost nothing going on. Maybe for our plateau friends, a little bit of patchy fog as you head out and about. Here's a look in the Williamson County area. This is right at the Brentwood-Davidson County line, guys. This is I-65 near Old Hickory Boulevard. And these are your northbound inbound lanes headed toward downtown Nashville. You can see you're going a speed limit rule. You're not going to have a problem this morning. Really nice coming in from Hendersonville as well. This is Vietnam Vets near Conference Drive. Only a couple folks on the road. Nice and early for you on your Wednesday. And if you're about to head out the door, your Hendersonville ride is under 20 minutes to get downtown on Vietnam Vets and I-65. The traffic report brought to you by Hughes & Coleman. Stick around. News Channel 5 This Morning continues with your top stories next.
Coming up on News Channel 5 this morning, police believe an arsonist went to 3 churches last night and set fires inside. All of them were live at one church on Bell Road, where he also took 2 TVs. We'll show you his photo straight ahead.
Yeah, there's video of a tornado there. A cool video to see as far as just as looking at the awe of that. So more of that coming up in a moment. But right now, let's show you what is happening from the Clarksville area. No severe weather out there as we start at daybreak for you this morning. Nice and tranquil right now. In Clarksville, they're starting the morning right around the 70-degree mark. From Clarksville, check out the numbers right now. We've got 69 Russellville, 69 out of the Gallatin area, Carthage 66. 66, 65 Smithville, and then 68 down toward Murfreesboro. There's a little fog out there in a couple of spots. Not a whole lot within the metro area, but we'll pull this out. You see a little bit more in the way of some fog down around Warren County and then back over in East Tennessee. So the ride in the work this morning, upper 70s to upper 60s to low 70s, and then for the ride home, temperatures near the 90-degree mark. A 2 in 10 chance for a showery thunderstorm later today. More on that coming up for you in a few minutes, but right now at about 5:31, let's head back over to Adam.
3 churches were vandalized overnight in South Nashville and Antioch, and police believe someone set fire inside those churches, and now they're investigating a possible connection. News Channel 5's Hannah McDonald is live at St. Ignatius Catholic Church this morning. This is in Antioch, and Hannah, this church had surveillance cameras out. They caught a pretty good photo of the guy, too.
Yeah, there are just 2 right behind me, and there are several around this big church. There are also some, we believe, inside, and that's how they captured this pretty clear picture of the suspected arsonist. It is a sharp shot. Although he's got sunglasses on, maybe in an attempt to disguise who he really was, it's a good picture overall. You can see he's carrying what looks like a weighted down pillowcase, which he may have used to break through doors. This map is going to show you where the churches are in relation to one another. Police believe that this arsonist went to 3 overnight. The first being a church at 10:30 he went to Crevewood Baptist Church in South Nashville. The next around 1, that was Priest Lake Community Baptist Church. And the third here around 1:40, St. Ignatius Catholic Church. We know the fires were set in small containers at each one. A cabinet with paper goods at the first church, then trash cans and curtains were damaged at the second, and a small fire was set in the hallway here at this Catholic church, as the suspect also pulled down 2 flat screen TVs and got away with those. Right outside the church here, you can see these 2 cameras I was referring to. They're the type of cameras that when you get up close to them, they then follow the way you are moving. They follow your walking pattern. Inside, maybe that's what the cameras did as well too, in order to get that pretty zoomed in photo that we showed you. Now this guy, police believe, was probably alone. However, they're not totally sure about that, but they do consider this an arson investigation, and they want you to call 1-800-762-3017 if you have any information that they can use to solve these cases. Live in Antioch, I'm Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.